Jacob, I used to play hockey. There's a rink over here.
Looks like
And
they
it was just
cut down till the
wide
ice.
open.
Apple
They
blossom
did,
tree.
indeed. Yeah, they sure did.
And then we had the garden over there, and we had there was a giant mound of dirt that I used to just love digging in. It was so cool. I can't believe this is the place. I honestly can't believe it.
Hi, how are you? Sorry for busting in on you. My name is Walter Boff, and this is my brother and my sister. We were raised here, right? We were raised here. So we're not asking to go inside, but do you mind if we just look around the house a little? I mean, this brings back a lot of memories, so I don't want to get upset about that. So, my folks brought back that. Yes, sir. We dug all that wheat and tile out. Wow.
Wide open.
And I remember going out and that step, there was just a little cement step there with a great big clothesline.
Yep. Yep. Big clothesline.
There was a hole in the yard there that was about this big
Oh,
around it. It was
huge.
dug out. Big Jim Carter always used it every day.
Oh,
eh?
did
That was
you?
just a little shovel. Oh yeah, literally for hours. Fun. We just have to look out the window and there be laying in the dirt.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
And there used to be a ditch at right
That's
across
exactly
the back.
right.
So we'd always
Yeah,
have to jump over that
exactly.
ditch.
And I used to cut through here, then through Jimmy's place to get to the street to run to
Yeah.
Warwick School.
And where that shed is where the septic system used to be. Because the grass would be like twice as tall there and you walk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought really figured that was the best chance to burn up that sunbeam, but it never did. Never could burn that bad boy up or nothing. Remember you had that white fence that used to have the boards that would go
Oh
like
yeah,
this?
oh yeah, right
That
here,
built
man.
that
And
in there.
remember the Wiggins lived next door and that house seemed so
That's
big
right.
to us?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at all the trees that are here now,
Oh,
the way.
right.
See,
It was wide open.
wide open, man. There's nothing.
Dominicans, remember Susan Dominican used to live there?
Millions! Oh my goodness.
Susan,
Unbelievable. Okay, take the shovel. I'm not getting the road to Charlie like that. I don't want to turn on studio. Shit. Here I am. with the shovel.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
step, lift it over, chop, chop. One step, lift it over, chop, chop. From here all the way to the front. I thought this is so long. Who would do this to the child?
Yeah.
I really loved it.
And Jake, this driveway was just as wide when we were kids.
I was probably
Shoveling
still
the snow off that was amazing. It was just so much snow.
And I thought we were going way further.
But there was none of this.
Oh, you remember what was across the street?
The rink.
The rink.
And that big, remember that clay mound of dirt? I used
Yeah.
to take it my fork and I'd drive it in there and I'd watch it all tumble down because all
Oh,
break
yeah,
little
oh, yeah.
squares.
And remember the sheds lived over there?
Yeah,
Way
Wayne.
over here, yeah. Right just around.
Yeah.
Remember the Gross? The Gross girls? The last name is Gross?
Yeah.
They were around this corner here and up there. There was all the old
I was trying to tell him where to go, and I just couldn't tell him where to go. And Harmen, my younger brother, then picked up the phone and
told him where we
said,
lived.
"This is where it is." I
Yeah.
just couldn't even talk.
Yumiko was there, Carolyn. It was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yumiko?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah, she was there.
So I didn't like to be behaved, and I didn't want to carry my baseball glove with me because we always play down the baseball diamond. So this window was open. That was my class. So I thought, well, shit, I'll just throw my glove in the window. I throw it in the window, knocks the vase right off the desk that the kids had just given the teacher for something. Blew it right off of there. Well, here we go, down in the office, Mrs. Shannon.
Too funny.
Mrs. Shannon.
Give me this draft for blowing the vase off because I didn't want to keep it.
yeah.
And the ball diamond was right here somewhere.
Yes, sir.
There's a ball diamond out there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, it is right there. So Jacob, to get to our house, we'd go straight that way, and that's where I used to skate to school, across that field.
Well, look at that, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, Harm, do you remember Mrs. Shannon's wobbly arms?
Oh my gosh.
She
yeah.
just, Jake, she never wrote like this on the board. She'd go like this. And all us
Oh,
kids
yeah,
used
oh,
to watch her arms just flap in the wind. And then she'd stuff Kleenexes up her little shirt sleeve.
Oh yeah, that was nice. So,
Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
that was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that real bitch, Carolyn, that teacher?
Oh, the mean one, the older lady who should have retired a million years ago.
So I'm up on the
She's
dashboard.
hitting everybody.
Oh yeah, and I can't do this math problem. I'm having a hell of a time with it. So she grabbed my hand like this. This is the way you do it. Now write it down. Well, She's hammering my hand on all the chalk is just powder. I don't even have a tool anymore to write with. Let's pick up another piece of chalk. She was just brutal. She was a nasty bitch.
And she was very into her ruler.
Oh man.
Constantly smacking kids with her ruler. How she stayed employed, I'll never know.
Yeah, I felt like taking that ruler and smashing it.
Yeah, they got away with murder then. Now, now parents can't even touch their kids, never mind teachers.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Look, this is
That was
so
quite
different.
something. She was mean.
I remember the Denny Jensen. Remember the Jensens?
Oh,
Denny Jensen, another Jensen.
Jensen.
Jan was the older one. He worked with his dad.
know.
Nobody messed with that guy. He was built
Biggest
like a tank.
crush ever, Jan Jensen. Ever.
Then they had the boys. They had Denny and Tom. And Denny was my friend. Tom was my friend. And Denny was nuts. And Tom always used to get pissed. They get mad at each other. And, oh, the Jensens are fighting. Let's go. And there they go. And Denny would always punch the lights out of Tom. Always. And so, but Tom didn't know he was going to get his ass kicked. So they'd go in there and he'd give her one. And then wham. Denny hit him in the face. He'd go. Takes two steps back. In he come again. Wrestle again. Right in the face. He'd do it about 3 or 4 times and then he didn't want to do it anymore. Oh shit, he took so many beatings.
You guys went to high school here? This was a high school?
This was public school. So
Elementary,
yeah. This would have been grade 8 you were out of here.
Up to 8.
Yeah. And there
Up
used to
to
be
8,
another
right.
old building down here that was a really old, the original Warwick Public School.
Yeah.
That's where I honed my burning barrel skills.
Your burning barrel?
Oh yeah, the janitor, after school the janitor would bring all the garbage and throw it in the burning barrel. And so he had little holes poked in the side. So I'd get my pencil and I'd be poking in there. And the smoke would come out and I'd burn my eyes. I'd regroup, by now my pencil's burned. I had lots of pencils, so I just poked some more in there. Just did that for hours after school. Yeah, that old school.
And they built this school, I think, while we lived here, didn't they? We were the first ones.
Yes, that
Yeah.
school was there. They owned this land.
Yeah.
But what is that building? Is this must be a whole nother building, or did
Oh,
we?
it's all gone. This is all
Okay.
new stuff. We used to ride from down there. There's a road down there that you ride off that road. Then you go to that other school, and then you could ride your bike up to this school.
You cut
Yeah.
right up through
Yeah.
and come here.
Yeah, and there was a little grocery store right over there. You guys remember that?
Mm.
And it
Yeah.
was a post office too.
Yeah. Rona's aunt used to live, or our grandma used to live right beside it.
Maybe somehow we can double back and go to that petrol can there. I'll go to the washroom from there.
Do you remember?
yeah, me too.
Do you remember the grocery store where we used to go grocery storing, shopping, and then there was a Save On Bayfield Street.
Save on.
They put a new McDonald's out there. And it was like
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
If I could say the name of it, you'd remember it right away. Anyways, somehow I got $99 together and I bought a brand new 10-speed when I was in public school. And,
Was that from Kmart? The old Kmart?
no, it was something else.
$99.
Yeah, there was a ton of money. Center pull brakes. Walter was into his bike.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good as Walt's, but it was a white, nice, brand new, beautiful. And I drove down 13th Street, so 13th Street's gonna be right here. And I turned off into the school. And the road went down a little bit like this, and then you had to ride up the hill to go to that little old school. Well, I turn off the road. It was on Saturday. I turn off the road, and I see somebody at the school. So I'm showing off. I'm gonna show my new bike. So I'm going pretty good. I'm cooking around that corner. I look up there they are. Hey, look at me. I drive in there. They got a freaking cable across the entryway into the thing. I hit that cable. I went over the handlebars so hard. I folded that front wheel. They were going home and it's going like this. I was so pissed. And I went back from OCC. I went back to the store and said, what's wrong with this bike? There's something wrong with this front wheel. And I cried and I sniveled and I whined. They gave me a new front tire.
Oh, man.
No, it started. Of course, I had a big cable scar on the front yoke of my bike that was just wrecked. It wasn't pretty anymore. But
What a heartache.
Jake, you got to go to the washroom, bud. I got to go.
I'm doing the math, right? So you're making $8 a day, $8 Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at 10 Saturdays and 4 Saturdays in a month.
Oh man, it took me a while.
They're like, that's all summer to get that bike.
And they might have offered a layaway plan. I don't know. And I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me that Mom would help me pay for it somehow, but I don't recall. We were on the tracks are right there. We go down there and there'd be the big old ditch and You know, the trains are coming and going. We're all down there playing and having fun.
That's perfect. So you're less than 5 years old playing on the train tracks.
Oh yeah,
Seems
killing
like a good
frogs.
idea.
All the railroad ties would be piled up in there, and some of them would be short, and I'd stick a house right there. I'd climb right in the end of the
Which
piles
one?
of the railroad
Which
tracks.
one? On the corner? Or?
No, this is that old bastard that we always had to be quiet for, and this is where our house used to be. Just pull right over here, Jack. This is our house on Gowan Street.
Oh, you know it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, it
It's a
looks good,
duplex.
eh?
It's still standing.
Look, it looks good. And it was so run down, Jacob, you have no idea. The roof was caving in, and Dad
Oh.
fixed it all, and oh my goodness. I remember him working on the window. So I was on the toilet, and he looking in the window. Hi, Dad.
Look at how it's painted. That side of the duplex painted just their half of the
Yeah,
beam,
yeah.
and then left the rest of it unpainted.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's funny.
This house is so poorly insulated, Jake. There used to be icicles hanging down all the time. And I used to throw snowballs up there, and of course, that's why Dad was a replacing window.
And Jake,
My
guess what?
aim wasn't so good.
There was a
You
great
broke a window with a snowball?
Yeah, because it would melt right in front of the window. That's where all the biggest ice cubes were. So I'd be throwing shit up there, and bam, broke.
Yeah.
And Jake, there was a woman who lived there that we all remember who had gout. This gigantic thing on her neck. You remember that?
I do not remember.
Oh, you remember that?
A goiter.
A goiter.
Oh, a goiter, yeah.
A
that-
goiter.
Remember, Walt, was it you that cut your ankle off the shit with the go-kart scooter? Jan.
Jan built that,
Oh.
and he took a corner really sharp, and the rubber came off the wheel
Oh, no.
and dug right into his ankle.
Oh, shit.
The metal.
I remember all the blood, and I remember being pretty
Oh,
traumatized
yeah.
with that one.
I think this might have been the one that Dad built.
Maybe that one. But I remember this used to be closed in. I remember they closed the gate and couldn't get out.
Yeah.
I'd be playing on the swing back there in my nice little cowboy suit that Mama got me.
Harm, I have a picture of Mom standing right there. Kids all playing there.
Out there. Do not remember
But we had to all line up and march into that school.
And grade by grade, we all lined up.
Oh yeah. And Jacob, I want to share with you, there used to be all these metal poles there, and every year some kid would stick his tongue on the metal pole.
No, they
And
didn't.
yes,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
some teacher would come along and just rip the kid off the pole, thinking
Just-
they're being naughty.
Just like Dumb or Dumber.
Yeah.
Dumb-
I remember one kid got ripped and it just tore a strip off his. No, it was tiny, but it looked huge.
looked huge.
Oh, and he was bleeding. Oh,
They had these
screaming.
metal poles there, and kids were forever getting their tongues stuck on there in the winter.